Hi, I'm Joe, and the first superhero movie of the year came out, so you know what that means. It's the summer! Summer. Wait a minute. It's only April. The hell? Anyway, here's what the average consumer thinks of Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
I joined S.H.I.E.L.D. to protect people.
Captain,
To build a better world?
sometimes means tearing the old one down. And that makes enemies.
Are you ready for the world to see you as you really are? Look out the window. You know how the game works. Disorder, war. All it takes is one step.
This movie sucks. I'm just kidding. This movie was freaking awesome. I'm giving it a recommend. Basically, the plot is Captain America finds out there's some people in S.H.I.E.L.D. that he probably can't trust. And he has to figure out who and why and whatnot. And I don't want to say too much more after that because it turns into a mystery thriller, with a very actiony mystery thriller, which I liked because I haven't seen that in any of these other superhero movies. It was a unique take on it, and I really liked that. And I can't figure out which part I like better, the action or the story. How rare is that? I was actually like, okay, I hope they do this thing, and they did it actiony. Excellent. And if you thought that the first Captain America movie was a setup to the Avengers, which it was, let's be honest, this is not. This is a very much, this is basically like, what would Captain America do in this situation? And he has to basically kind of become a detective and team up with. It's great. I don't want to say much more after that. Some of the things I really liked was Robert Redford. Great presence. Dude, I mean, almost like a unique character. And it felt like the part was written for him. And maybe one other guy could have played this part. Maybe, but it would have been totally a little bit different. He would have made it his own. But regardless, Robert Redford was amazing. Some of the things I didn't like was some of the action scenes. Parts of the action scenes felt sped up and overly edited. I could hardly tell what was going on. It started off great where I'm like, okay, cool, and then overly edited, and so I could hardly note that I didn't like. Here's another thing. I've been noticing this a lot this year in 2014, where this happens, and then you hear voices and stuff, and I'm like, what are you doing? This is literally at least the third movie I can think of this year where that happened, and I'm like, do something. You're gonna show this movie in 3D and do that? You're not in 3D, you're not in 2D, you're not in 1D, you're in 0D! Why did I pay the extra $2 if you're not gonna show me anything? And also another thing I didn't like was this movie kind of felt more like an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the sense that the story dealt more with S.H.I.E.L.D. than it did with Captain America. Like, why make it Captain America 2 if you're gonna make it about S.H.I.E.L.D.? Don't get me wrong, I mean, I understand that Captain America was a character that had to deal with this overall bigger situation with S.H.I.E.L.D., but it could have been any character then. It could have been, Bruce Banner or Hawkeye. It could have been any one of them that played a detective in this movie, and it just felt like they made it Captain America and called it Captain America 2, even though it was about S.H.I.E.L.D. But to me, those are minor things to complain about. Maybe I'm overthinking them. This is a great movie to watch. I mean, I recommend it for anyone from 14 up. And yeah, I might see it again. Other than that, I give it a recommend, and that's what the average consumer thinks of Captain America, the Winter Soldier.